Alright people, you know what time it is. It's a brisk and windy October afternoon here in the beautiful metropolis of Denver, Colorado, and we're heading down to the Larimer Lounge, the local Throw-a-Three event, to ask some local bands some interesting questions. Let's do this thing.
Asking interesting questions, asking interesting questions, asking interesting questions, asking interesting questions.
Alright, we are here with...
I'm Dan. I'm Charles. The impliers.
Teresa, Suydam.
Lpeez, right?
Blankslate.
Who, these three know what's up. Hey, you watching this video right now. I know I usually don't edit into these, but you should seriously go listen to some music by this band Blankslate. They are seriously talented. This is some of the hottest rock I've seen coming out of the Denver area. And as a result, I have to give them a personal recommendation. 5 out of 5 stars. This is some of the most mind-melting music you're ever likely to hear. Go check it out. Pre-order their album Summer on Assault Flat. It's poppin'. It's fantastic. Seriously, whatever you're doing, stop it right now. Go down to the description, click on the link I've put there, and go check out some of their music because it's ridiculously good. Anyway, yeah, back to your regularly scheduled programming. Okay, question 1. Which physical music format, if any, do you use on a regular basis?
What physical?
Like vinyl, cassette?
A mic, the normal one.
Mic, okay. Like 8-track, compact cassette, vinyl.
Records still.
You're into some vinyl.
Yeah, vinyl, I would say. I like to find really random stuff. Like, for instance, I found recently at a thrift store a record that says music for listening. And I had to find out what kind of music.
You like looking into the more obscure type records.
Well, I just wanted to know what kind of music was for listening.
Right.
That's what it was called. And it was really, it wasn't good. So,
okay.
Don't ever buy a record that says music for listening.
All right. I'll watch out for that.
Vinyl. Yeah.
Vinyl. We have a nice record player that is deliciously sounding.
Yeah, we like it.
We like the record format because then you can hear all the songs flow into each other.
Yeah.
Kind of the fade out and fade in.
Exactly. Oh, yes.
I actually don't use any. No, I think the one I might consider using is like vinyl or cassette, just because those are kind of novelty.
Yeah.
Yeah, but currently I don't use anything.
All digital.
All digital.
But if you were to invest in one, like a really good turntable or tape deck or something like that, turntables are definitely a great investment to look into.
Yeah, probably turntables.
Okay.
Here, let me put this here for you so
That's fine, I got it. Question 2, what advice do you have regarding album arrangement?
Man, literally let your fucking life go through that shit, bro. Like, literally let all that shit that's supposed to happen. Bro, you can't tell that story that an album needs without going through it. Real shit, bro. I went through all that shit, bro. Like, make sure that your life goes through that album needs before you write it out.
Your ballad third.
Yeah.
Ballad third.
You always have a ballad third.
And
Yes.
Lucky.
There needs to be solid duo pairs throughout the album as I go together.
Yeah, nice complementary little compatibility little partner guys.
Yeah.
And then also I would say open with a 7,000 minute long epic.
Okay.
3 parts.
All right.
At least.
Album arrangement, like how it's all put together.
Yeah, like composition between songs.
I think it's super important. I think a full album doesn't happen very much these days unless you're a mega artist like Taylor Swift. But they all, I think full-length albums should definitely come back. And they're hard to put together cohesively, and it takes a lot of time.
Especially if it's like a concept album, right?
Yes.
Album arrangement.
it just depends. If you're, are you talking about when you're creating music, putting together an album?
Like the order of the songs, the cohesion between them.
Well, I think if you're trying to tell a story, you know, then ideally the music and the songs would travel in that order. But also, it's pretty cliche to just have an album that starts off with all the happy hit songs in the beginning on the front side, and then it gets slower on the second side. And I think it's a little bit more entertaining if you build in a little bit more of a sound arc in addition to the story arc.
Like balance
so
it out.
Kind of get some different feelings that keep you interested.
Put some more depressing songs on the first half and some more hits on the second. Right.
And then you can continue to build them back down.
Okay, come on, next.
Okay. 3. Do you feel differently when listening to your own music than you do when listening to someone else's music?
Whoa,
If so, how?
That's a really good question.
Sorry, I interrupted.
100%, because of course listening to your own music, you're very critical of that.
Right.
And then also it's pretty cool because you hear things that you don't even remember doing. And I listen to other people's music and get really jealous of how badass it is, because it's like, how did they do this? I wish I could do that too.
There's no wondering when you listen to your own music.
Right.
You know everything about all of it. So you're kind of hearing that. The other thing is, by the time your song is done, if you were involved in the writing and recording and everything of it, you've heard it 100,000 times by the time you finished with it. So you don't have those novel experiences like you do with someone else's.
Okay.
As of this last year, I've been releasing stuff that I've really enjoyed. So, like, I'm an artist that listens to myself on Spotify. And then I have a lot of buddies out in LA and just around the country that I've met at songwriter conferences. So I enjoy listening to them too. So the only difference is I'm really focusing on their lyrical compositions compared to mine, because I have my own lyrical habits, as do they do, but I really listen for educational purposes.
Absolutely not. I feel like I feel like I'm the GOAT. I feel like I'm the GOAT. I'm always gonna be the GOAT.
You're the GOAT.
Yeah. When I listen to my music, I feel like I'm the GOAT.
Yeah.
And then I don't want to listen to nobody else's music because I feel like I'm the GOAT.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel differently when I listen to our music, because I really have a tendency to like zero in on like the guitars, because I'm just very self-conscious of what I did. Whereas when I'm listening to someone else, I'm more like, this is the song. So it's like hard to like see our songs as songs sometimes, but like then I do, and then that's cool.
Yeah, I feel like for me, listening to my song is like I'm traversing a very difficult terrain. But then if I'm listening to other people's music, it's like I'm watching someone traverse that terrain from a plane.
Question 4. Which local music do you believe best reflects the core of the modern Denver sound?
I don't even know how to answer that question, because I believe, I don't know. I think the identity of local music here is a little bit different than any of the other cities that I've lived in, right? So like we've lived in cities where it was like very punk rock or very, indie, whereas here it's a little bit all over the place, but I don't think I've necessarily found our group's niche. But it's funny to think about how many big EDM bands live here. So
EDM? Did you say that's pretty hot these days?
I'm not from here, so I have no idea.
Cage Mates.
Yeah, Cage Mates.
Cage Mates fully.
How so?
Just like really fucking loud and energetic and hype, but then like the most beautiful chorus you will ever hear.
You
like
think
a little
that's
bit grimy, a little bit polished. It's like perfect.
You think that's pretty on point with Denver these
I think
days?
that's exactly Denver these days.
Okay.
This is going to be a little biased. I really like Bell House.
Bell House.
Yeah,
Bell House.
Becky. Super amazing performer. I also like, back in the day, Avonheart. Americana. Andrew is a good friend.
Those two, you'd say, are the most archetypal Denver music today.
That's what stands out to me at the most, yeah.
You want something that stands out to you.
Yeah.
What are you saying? Say it again.
Which music do you think is like the most Denver-y? What do you say?
What?
Like the most emblematic of like what music do you think gives off Denver vibes?
Denver vibes.
Yeah. Like you hear it and you think, this is Denver.
Bro, there's nothing that I hear and I feel like it's Denver like. I'm sorry.
Not really?
No.
Okay. Okay, question 5. When you compose, do you take a spontaneous, loose approach or a more organized, planned one?
No plan. Spontaneous is how whatever the fuck happens, happens.
Yeah.
No two songs are written the same.
No.
You like going all out?
Yeah.
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 It's a complete roll of the dice every time, on purpose.
I think sometimes we have a song and that we have a plan for it and we go into it and we're like, oh yeah, haha. We shouldn't have brought this plan.
Yeah. The best plan is no plan.
Yep.
Never know where the song's gonna take you.
You have a plan in terms of like a general conception of that song outside the studio, but then whatever happens in the studio is like a fully weird third arm extension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that?
Do you, when you make a song, do you like plan it out, or do you kind of just go from the heart, kind of?
Yes, I'll plan it out.
You plan it out.
Yeah, next.
That's the last one. So you have kind of really intricate lyric schemes and.
Okay, Lpeez, goddamn it, you already know what the fuck going on, man.
Where's Peasy? Right, is the new new
I'm
album?
glad you know. Yeah, where's Peasy?
Yeah, I heard
Which
it.
album now?
It's like Where's Waldo, but where's Peasy? That's very clever.
Music. One example would be we have one of the songs that's on the radio this month that is close to 5 minutes long, and I think it probably has 10 or 12 different parts. One of the parts that the song was written around was from when we were much younger, under 20 probably, and so we knew that needed to be in there, and there was some pieces that we built up before and after it because we thought that would be an interesting way to transition into a part, so it would make it a little bit more interesting, and then other parts kind of fell in there, but there was no clear direction, I think, when we started that song on where it would go.
Right. It's just building something. Like, we got this. All right, well, then what can go after this? Oh, well, we'll make something that goes after this. And then you have this giant monster of a thing. Then you kind of trim the hedges to make it all neat and nice.
It's a constructive project.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that works well for us is try to take some of the parts that we have and put it into a structure, and then I'll send it to him and kind of encourage him to break it, which he would do anyway, no matter what.
Yeah.
That's just anything he gets his hands on.
I like that.
It falls apart.
All right, sure.
And so then he'll send it back and then try to polish it again and do that a few times until it has some type of order.
In the past, it has been loose. Going forward, though, I'm being more intentional, like with a full-length album with the concepts, so that every song has an underlying concept. Same with my artist image and everything that goes with it. So everything now, going forward, is going to be more intentional.
Pretty different, huh?
Yeah.
Going forward.
Yeah, because I've written a bunch of songs and I just kind of put them together and I was like, oh, here's an album.
Right.
So I want that to change.
You think album arrangement is kind of an interesting craft in and of itself.
Yeah, it is. It's like I go to conventions and I have these moments where I'm like, wow, we're all just sitting in a convention center listening to music and we're like professional listeners, and that's so weird, but cool.
Question
you
4.
put this shit on like BET fucking after night. I don't know.
No, I put it on YouTube. Okay, bonus question. I don't usually ask this, but for the benefit of the viewing audience and my benefit too, when will you be next playing live, and what's your new album called?
We are playing on Thursday at Goosetown Tavern, and we're playing our full debut album, Summer on a Salt Flat. We'll be playing with 2 really special guest musicians, our producer, Tyler Frogno, and Monica Sales, who's the most incredible cellist. And we are very, very excited to show you this album.
Any live shows after that?
Yep, we got one on November 3rd, opening for Koos at her album release show at Woods Bros Brewing, which we're very excited about. We're opening for Illiterate Light at Globe Hall on November 18th, and then opening for Hello Mountain on November 19th at the Skylark, and then we're opening for the Night Spins on November December 3rd. 3rd.
I think there's 2 shows, and it's the 3rd and the 5th.
It is. There's one in the Springs and one here. The one here is on the 3rd.
Wow, packed schedule. All right, those are some great answers, and here is your free cassette tape.
Nice. What is it? Is it
Nick Cicada's greatest hits. So if you don't know what the Denver sound is, that's it on there. Thank you for those answers. Those are very interesting.
Yeah.
There you go. Here's your free cassette tape. These are hype. If I ever see a open mic or live show or anything, again, let me know what you think. Well, you can have 2.
Okay, great.
You can have 2 if you got.
Perfect. Hell yeah, thank you.
Yeah, these are great. So okay, there's your free cassette tape.
What is this?
Free cassette tape for answering all 5 questions.
Oh, I can hear myself answer these?
You can play it.
Alright, yeah.
All right, people. What I tell you? Well, isn't that just a crazy assortment of fantastic musicians here in the Denver area at the local 303 meetup? Yeah, I'm looking forward to next month. Should be hype. So keep with it. Stay with it. As always, I've included songs by each of tonight's artists in the description, and check them out. And man, this is just on next level stuff. So yeah, all right. Spose out.
Asking interesting questions. Asking interesting questions. Asking interesting questions. Asking interesting questions.
I feel like I'm dealing with the next 3 Kurt Cobains here. So
Wow, it's an honor.
yeah, in one shot, could you say Nicholas Comics are the tops?
Nicholas Comics are the tops.
Yeah, all together.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
3,
Okay.
2, 1.
Nicholas Comics are the tops.